A very good morning to my dear students of class 8, and I am happy to welcome you all to one more zoology class in this new week. In our previous classes we have been studying about the lesson called as circulatory system, right? We have studied about the structure of the heart, the types of blood cells, all we have studied. So in today's class what are we going to learn? We are going to learn about two topics called blood circulation and heartbeat. So what are we going to learn today? About blood circulation and heartbeat. So let's get started. So before we learn about the process of blood circulation or various steps that happen in the process of blood circulation, let's define what blood circulation is. What is blood circulation? Blood circulation is a continuous flow. What is continuity? Continuity means it never ends until a person is dead. The blood in his or her body keeps on circulating or flowing. Okay, so here also you can see the yellow color arrow marks shows blood circulation. We will be learning in detail about this later. So just remember, blood circulation is the continuous flow of blood. Where does it flow? It flows inside the body. If you are going to pour blood somewhere out, that process is not called as blood circulation, right? So whenever this happens, whenever the blood circulates inside the body, then the process is called as blood circulation. That is, the continuous flow of the blood inside the body can be defined as blood circulation. And then in human body you have a special type of blood circulation called as double circulation. What is it called? The blood circulation in human body, it is not for all the organisms. That's why I tell you specifically that it is in human body. In human body the type of blood circulation is called double circulation. Immediately what comes into our mind? We think that double circulation means the circulation of blood throughout the body twice, we think, right? It is not that way. What is that then? The circulation is going to be throughout your body one time, but it will flow through your heart twice. See here, this image actually represents blood circulation which is double circulation type. What can you see here? In the right side you can see red color blood, and in the left side you can see blue color blood, right? So what is red color blood? Red blood means it is oxygenated blood which is full of oxygen, and blue color means it is deoxygenated blood which lacks oxygen and which has more carbon dioxide. So you can consider oxygenated blood as good blood because it is rich in oxygen, so it is represented as the color of the blood, that is red. Here deoxygenated blood is represented in blue, right? See, what can you see here? At the same time, in one circulation itself, the blood flows into the heart. See, at this point, see, both this oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood enters through two different channels into the heart. So that's why it is called as double circulation. There is one circulation, the entire process is one circulation, but blood enters into the heart twice because the oxygenated blood is in a different pathway and the deoxygenated blood takes a different path. So it can be considered that both enters into the heart twice. Into the heart, the heart receives blood twice, one by oxygenated blood and other through the deoxygenated blood type. That's why it is called as double circulation. Are you clear? So it is one full circulation, but it enters into the heart twice, once this way and once this way. That is why it is called as double circulation. This double circulation includes two systems. One is called pulmonary system and the second one is called systemic circulation. So the double circulatory system in human being is of two types called pulmonary circulation as well as systemic circulation. So in this picture you can see two ways, right? One is this one. This is actually the pulmonary circulation, and the next one, where is pulmonary circulation? This pathway, no? This is pulmonary circulation, and below see you have one more pathway, and this is the systemic circulation. Okay, so let's learn what the difference is, why it is categorized into two. What happens in pulmonary circulation? The blood starts from the heart. What did I tell you? This is pulmonary circulation, right? So here the blood starts from the heart. What is this blood? I have already told you, if blood is blue in color, it means it is deoxygenated. So this deoxygenated blood starts from the heart and then it enters to the lungs. Deoxygenated blood will have less oxygen, right? So whenever blood reaches the lungs, it becomes oxygenated. It becomes a good blood or a pure blood once it reaches the lungs. That's why the deoxygenated blood goes to the lungs to become pure. So in lungs, see, when it comes out of the lungs, it is red in color because now it is a oxygenated blood. So this oxygenated blood enters into the heart again. So what is the pathway? Heart, from the heart to the lungs and to the heart. This is called pulmonary circulation. In systemic circulation, this is systemic circulation. The bottom one, no, this is called systemic circulation. So what happens in systemic circulation? It starts from the heart again. Here it starts from the heart and it goes to all parts of the body. From the heart, what is coming out? The pure blood or oxygenated blood comes out of the heart. It goes to all parts of the body. It supplies oxygen and other nutrients to all parts of the body and it returns back to the heart. See, when it supplies its oxygen to other parts of the body, the blood now becomes deoxygenated because the oxygen it had been carrying is already supplied to other parts, right? So the blood will at some point it will lack oxygen. That's why after it gives oxygen or blood to all parts of the body, it is now blue in color because the oxygen is lacking in the blood. It is deoxygenated now. So it comes out of the heart as oxygenated blood, but when it reaches the body, it is deoxygenated, and now the deoxygenated blood will enter to the heart. So that is the pathway, heart to organs of the body to heart again. So from heart to all parts of the body and again to the heart. This is called systemic classification. So what have we studied in this slide? There are two types of blood circulation called pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. In pulmonary circulation, the pathway is, which is pulmonary circulation? The upper one. The pathway is from the heart to the lungs and again to the heart. This is pulmonary circulation. In systemic circulation, the pathway is heart to organs of the body and again to the heart. So this is about the two types of circulation. Okay, next we learn about the course of blood circulation. Course means the various steps that is actually happening in blood circulation. See, here you can see arrow marks representing the flow of blood. As I told you already, always the right side of the heart. For you it will be left side, but I have already explained this concept. But when an image is given, always when I tell right side, it is this side, the right side of the heart. Okay, this is left side for you, but for the heart this is the right side. So this is going to be right always. I'll write R, and this is going to be left always. And I have already told you, whatever blood is blue in color, it means it is deoxygenated, and if the blood is red in color, it means it is oxygenated. So here there are 6 steps in the process of blood circulation. So how many steps are there in the process of blood circulation? 6 steps. Okay, we'll start with step 1. What happens in step 1? In step 1, the deoxygenated blood from all parts of the body will reach the right auricle. I told you this is the right side, right? Where is the auricle? This is auricle, this is right auricle, and this is left auricle, and this is right ventricle, and this is left ventricle. Clear? So here the deoxygenated blood from all the parts of the body enters to the right auricle through the superior and inferior vena cava. Which is superior vena cava? You have two veins here, no? So this is called superior vena cava. Superior vena cava, and this one is called inferior vena cava. I will write as IV. Clear? So this is superior and this is inferior vena cava. So what is given here? The concept is deoxygenated blood from all the parts of the body will enter into the right auricle through the superior and inferior vena cava. This is step 1, that is deoxygenated blood is going to be filled inside the right auricle. From where it comes? It comes from all parts of the body. This is first step in blood circulation. So what would be the second step in blood circulation? So simultaneously, I told you, no, at some point deoxygenated blood enters into the right auricle. At the same time, when deoxygenated blood enters into the right auricle, the left auricle is filled with oxygenated blood. The left auricle, which is left auricle? This is the left auricle, right? So this is going to be filled with oxygenated blood, and from where does it come? Oxygenated blood comes from the lungs. Always when a blood is pure, it means it is freshly arrived from the lungs, because lungs only supply oxygen to the blood, right? So the blood which enters here comes from the lungs, and where it reaches the left auricle through the pulmonary vein. Which is the pulmonary vein? Can you see red tubes here? This is the pulmonary vein. So these are pulmonary veins. So what is step 2? At the same time, when deoxygenated blood enters into the right auricle, at the same time in the left auricle, oxygenated blood enters from the lungs through the pulmonary veins, these veins, and this is also a pulmonary vein. Clear? So through the pulmonary veins, what has entered now? Oxygenated blood. Where? Into the left auricle. So this is step 2. Then what is step 3? So until now what have we seen? In step 1 and 2, here oxygenated blood and here deoxygenated blood and here oxygenated blood has entered into the right auricle. This is step 1 and 2. Now blood is in this region, that is in the left and the right auricle. This is step 1 and 2. What happens in step 3? In step 3, the auricles contract. What is contraction? Contraction means it is becoming smaller in size, or it is squeezed. Okay, so step 3 is auricles. Which are the auricles? This is right auricle and this is left auricle. Can you see? It is in contracted position, which means it is in a compressed or shrinked position. So what happens when auricles contract? The blood enters into the right ventricle and left ventricle. Where are the ventricles here? The bottom 2 chambers are called as ventricles, right? So when the auricles contract or squeeze, the blood from the auricles will enter into the ventricles now. So from the right auricle, blood will enter into the right ventricle only, and from the left ventricle the blood will enter into the from the left auricle the blood will enter into the left auricle only. It cannot move from this side to this side. The pathway is this way, from up to down. From right auricle it will go only to right ventricle, and from left auricle it will go only to left ventricle. So this is the third step. The auricles will contract, and when it contracts, it will give the blood into the ventricles. What is the step 4? In step 4, the tricuspid and bicuspid valves close. About these two valves we have already studied when we have learnt about the structure of the heart, right? So I already told you this word tri, you can since R is present in tri, you can remember as right side. So tricuspid valve is present in the right side. Which is the right side? This is the right side, right? So here this is the tricuspid valve. So once the blood flows into the ventricle, the tricuspid valve will close. Can you see it closing? And this side, the valve is called bicuspid valve. The valve present on the left side is called bicuspid valve. We have already studied the function about the tricuspid and bicuspid valve. What is the function? The function is closure, because, which means it closes because to prevent the back flow of blood. So blood always flows in one direction, no? It should not go in this way, the reverse way. To prevent the back flow of blood only, the tricuspid and bicuspid valve closes once blood enters from the auricles to the ventricles. This is step 4. Closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valves. Then what is step 5? In step 5, the ventricles contract. So initially auricles contracted, no? When auricles contract, what will happen from the auricles? Blood will be pushed to the ventricles. What will happen when ventricles contract? When ventricles contract, the blood will go out of the heart. In both the sides, blood is going to be pushed out. Okay, so where it will go? The deoxygenated blood, which is in the right ventricle, this is right ventricle, right? And since it is blue in color, it means it has a deoxygenated blood. The deoxygenated blood will go through the pulmonary artery. This is the pulmonary artery. Which is the pulmonary artery? This one. This blue tube, no? This is the pulmonary artery. Through the pulmonary artery to the lungs. So where it is going to go? It is going to the lungs. Why it has to go to the lungs? As I told you already, always blue blood will go to the lungs so that it becomes red, which means it will get oxygen. So step 5 is the ventricles will contract and this deoxygenated blood, and this is called pulmonary artery, and through the artery it will go to the lungs. This is step 5. Simultaneously, this side what happens? That is addressed as step 6. What happens in the left side of your heart? In the left side, that is step 6, when ventricles contract, the oxygenated blood, here what you have oxygenated blood, right? The oxygenated blood which is present in the left ventricle will go out of the heart through this tube. You have a big tube here, no? And this tube is called as aorta. What is the name of this tube? Aorta. This is aorta. So when ventricles contract in the left side, through the aorta, it will go to all parts of the body, because already the blood is pure. It need not be purified again. So it need not be sent to the lungs. Instead, it will go to all the body parts. So where it is going to go? To body parts. Clear? So these are the 6 steps in. So I'll display the point here. Through the aorta, I told you, no, this is called aorta. To all body parts it is taken. So these are the 6 steps in the process of blood circulation. Next we learn about a term called as double pump. What is being pumped here in the process of circulation? Obviously the blood is going to be pumped, right? So where it is pumped? It is pumped into the heart, and here you have the word double, which means blood is being pumped twice in the heart. Similar to a method of circulation which is double circulation, the pumping of the heart is also going to be double. So when all it will be pumped? First pump is from the right auricle to the right ventricle, from the right auricle to the right ventricle. When it is pumped, when the blood flows, it is called the first pump. And the second pump is from the left auricle to the left ventricle. When blood is squeezed from the left auricle to the left ventricle, it is called the second pump. So that's why it is called double pump. Once it is pumped this side, once it is pumped this side. So it is called as double pump. And then there are some more concepts about the blood flow. Always the blood flows, you may think, how does the blood flow? So whenever the blood flows, there is a rhythmic contractions in the heart. In your previous class, when we studied about the structure of the heart, we have studied about these contractions, no? Rhythmic contractions. Rhythmic means in a regular pattern it will be contracted. It is not slow at some time or fast at many times. Of course, when you run or your activities are more, that time the contraction and the relaxation is faster, but in a normal mode it is always rhythmic. In a regular pattern only it will be contracting and relaxing, right? So there is rhythmic contraction and relaxation. It is always of the same type or with same time interval when you are in the normal position. And where this happens in the chambers of the heart. Which are the chambers of the heart? The right auricle, right ventricle, left auricle and left ventricle are the chambers of the heart. The contractions and relaxations is happening. So you have studied, no, when blood is squeezed it is called contraction mode. When it is bigger in size, then it is called relaxation mode. So this happens in the chambers of the heart. And there is one more pattern. Always when you observe, no, the auricles contract together and the ventricles also contract together. See, whenever this auricle contracts, you can see here, whenever this contracts, this will also contract. The left auricle also will contract, and whenever the ventricles contract, the right auricle and the left ventricle will always contract together, and the right auricle and left auricle will contract together. So always auricles contract together and ventricles contract together. It is not this way. The right auricle and right ventricle will not contract together. Always right auricle and left auricle only will contract together. So all auricles contract together and ventricles contract together at the same time. Clear? That is what is meant. And the contraction process, whenever the chamber of the heart contracts, that is termed by a word called as systole. S-Y-S-T-O-L-E. It is called systole. Whenever the heart contracts, it is called systole, and whenever it relaxes, the term is called as diastole. D-I-A-S-T-O-L-E. So contractions, a technical term is systole, and relaxations, a technical term is diastole. This also you have to keep in mind. Clear? And the last part of this today's class will be about heartbeat. So this heartbeat can be defined as a regular movement of the heart. Even doctors will check you with a stethoscope to hear your heartbeat. If it is normal, it will be in a regular pattern, in a rhythmic pattern, or it is defined as the regular movement in a usual way. In a regular way, there is contraction and relaxation. That is the movement of the heart is defined as heartbeat. Whenever you have some problem in your body, especially in the heart, the regular movement will be absent, and then the doctor can diagnose that there is some problem in your heart. So heartbeat is defined as the regular movement of your heart. And the normal heartbeat, I told you, except when your activity is more, in a regular man, whenever he is in a relaxed position, the heartbeat is 72 beats per minute. If you touch your left side of your chest and count the number of heartbeats, it will be, if you are a normal person, it should be 72 beats per minute. For 60 seconds, if you count the heartbeat, it is going to be 72 approximately. So in today's activity, what you are going to do is, you are going to make a table, okay, and you are going to record how many number of times your heart beats. You make a table like this. You can make a table like this. Write in the first row as activity and heartbeat rate, and in the second row you can write normal, and in the third row you are going to write run. So here in the normal position, sit for some time and then just keep your heart on the left side of your chest and feel how many times your heart beats. 1, 2, 3, like that. You can feel the heartbeat. If you place your hand on your chest, no, you can feel the heartbeat. Just count how many times. How long you are going to count? You are going to count for only 60 seconds. That is 1 minute you will count, and write the number. Suppose if it is going to be, it should not be exactly 72. It can be less, 1 or 2 can be less or more. So if it is 70, write the value. Then what you are going to do, run for some time around your garden, run and sit, and then count your heart rate again and write the number. If it is going to be 80, write as 80 and click a picture and send it to me to my WhatsApp number. So this will be your today's activity. So the normal heart rate is 72 beats per minute. However, it will vary from person to person depending on the age. Older people may have a slower heartbeat rate than the younger children, and depending upon the physical and emotional conditions also. When a person is not healthy, the heartbeat rate may vary, and when a person is so emotional, I get so angry, and if I shout, my heartbeat rate, obviously it will be faster, or the number of times will be more. So it will vary from person to person. So please do this activity and send me a picture. So for your today's homework, read pages 88 to 89. It is the topic what I have taught today, and also do the activity and also complete questions 1 to 4 in page number 89 and send me. So this is all for today's class, and until I meet you in one more class, you all take care and bye bye.